On today's video, we will be exploring the vibrant community of Union Park located in Little Elm, Texas, showcasing the latest construction updates from Tri Pointe Homes, Bloomfield Homes, and American Legend. Spanning across 1,100 acres, this community features 3,400 homes, multiple parks, pavilions, pools, amenity centers, and picturesque walking trails. Discover why Union Park might just be the perfect neighborhood for you, offering a variety of lot sizes from 40-foot to 60-foot lots, and also including options for active adult living within the community. Let's dive in and uncover what makes Union Park a truly special place to call home. So that makes sense. Howdy folks, welcome back to another video. Today we are over here in Union Park. This is going to be an update on this neighborhood. Now, some of the builders are still actively building here. Half of them have actually closed out at this point. So like American Legend about to be closed out, Highland Homes is closed out, and then Tri Pointe and Bloomfield Homes are the only other builders in here. I did a neighborhood tour on this community like 2 years ago. And speaking of like 2 years ago, we just hit the 3-year mark of YouTube. I think now what I'm gonna start doing is going back and doing some update videos on some of the master plan communities I did a couple years ago. So I'm doing the Union Park. I think we're gonna do Windsong Ranch next. We're on the south side of the community right now. There is another entrance to this community up along 1385. We'll actually take Union Park Boulevard, run this all the way down to that section over there. Union Park is a really big community. It's got 3,400 homes in it and also about 1,100 acres. On the south side of this community, up along 380, there is a preschool over here. There's a fire station, gas station. They've kind of built some commercial things along the 380 highway spaces, but just know right now, it is a total pain in the butt to be commuting out this way. Whether you take 380 on the south side or take FM 1385 to get onto 380, just know it's gonna be a complete headache probably for the next 3 to 4 years. Here are where some of the Tri Pointe model homes are. There's also another section where some of the other Tri Pointe model homes are as well. But we'll kind of roll around this south part of the neighborhood through some of the older areas just to show you guys kind of the curb appeal with some of these homes. And then we'll get over to the section where some of the new construction is going in on. The community in here is going to be located within Little Elm. This is zoned for Denton County and Denton ISD. I'll talk about the schools here in a little bit, but schools are going to be really close within this neighborhood. So if you do have younger kids, just know the elementary school, middle school, even the high school is right across the street from here. The tax rate within this community is going to be at a 2.45%, and that's also due to there being a 0.51% MMD due to the 380 expansion that's going on. So you are paying taxes on that 380 expansion over there. So I'm sure people are thrilled about paying that and then having to sit in so much traffic up along here. Houses have been getting built in here pre-2020, so there are some people that have been in here for a good amount of time. However, there are still new families moving into this section just because there is still a couple more phases left. Not too many phases. I believe they're gonna have like 8 or 9 phases. They're on about their phase 6 and 7 for some of the builders in here. And for the HOA in here, it's gonna be dependent on the size lot that you go with. So the smaller lots, the 40s and the 50s, are gonna be about 118 to 120 per month. The 55-foot lots are going to be at around 122 per month, and then the 60-foot lots are going to be at 125 per month. There's also another road in here that kind of travels down the middle of it from west to east, and that's Fish Trap, so that's what we're on right now. And this is a little bit more of a rundown road, but this also takes you out to 1385. There is a lot of traffic along this road over at the intersection, kind of heading more towards Windsong Ranch. And over on the right side is a different community, which is Savannah. So that's another master plan community that's close to this one and kind of backs up to some of the neighborhood in here. This section of the neighborhood is where like Highland Homes was building, American Legend, and then we'll go a little bit further back and this will take us over to where Bloomfield is building over in this back section. And Bloomfield currently right now is in their phase 6. They have 23 floor plans for their 50s and 55-foot lots. Those 23 floor plans range from $510,000 up to $682,000. The smallest one-story is the Dogwood. That's a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,840 square feet, starting at $510,000. The biggest one-story is the Carolina. That's a 3-bed, 2-bath, 2,313 square feet, starting at $555,000. And then the smallest 2-story is the Dogwood 3 plan, and that is a 4-bed, 3-bath, 2,333 square feet, starting at $559,000. And the biggest 2-story plan is the Magnolia, 3, which is a 5-bed, 3.5 bath, 3,754 square feet, starting at $682,000. Those are the 50 and 55-foot lots. For the 60-foot lots, they have 18 floor plans ranging from $569,000 to $764,000. The smallest one-story is the Hawthorne. It's a 4-bed, 2-bath, 2,235 square feet, starting at $572,000. The biggest one-story is the Caraway. That's a 3-bed, 2.5 bath, 2,519 square feet, starting at $594,000. The smallest 2-story is the Carolina 2 plan. That is a 3-bed, 3-bath, 2,771 square feet, starting at $638,000. The biggest 2-story plan is the Bellflower 4. That's a 5-bed, 4.5 bath, 4,226 square feet, starting at $764,000. So those are the 60-foot lots in there. And then over in the middle of the community is Union Park Elementary. So here is the school, or at least one of the schools here. And then also here is just another amenity center. So you get sand volleyball courts. I believe there's some pickleball over in these areas too, and workout rooms, parks, but they got plenty of like green spaces and parks throughout this whole community in different little areas. Some of the parts of the community actually have like a full workout room, amenity center, and then some other parts of the community are just gonna have a few things where it might be some benches, some pavilions, and then some walking trails. And also a lot of homes in here I've noticed kind of on the perimeter back up to tree lines. So there are some lots that get some good privacy. Over on the left side is Tri-Point, where they're building some of their 40-foot lots, but we'll talk about that in a second. I want to take you guys over to the Bloomfield homes, and then we'll talk about Tri-Point here in a second. And then down to the right is actually what would take you out to FM 1385. And that'll be about a 4-minute drive that way. There are a lot of stop signs in this community, so when you're on Union Park Boulevard, it takes you a second to kind of get back to an area just because there's a lot of stop signs throughout this road. This Union Park Boulevard road runs through the whole community, kind of splits part of it in half. Over on the right side, and I'll just go through it quickly, is going to be the Del Webb community. I didn't pull anything for this section over here. I'm going to do another separate video on this, but here is just a Del Webb active adult living side with 1-story homes in here. So these are what the homes look like. So some of them don't even have really fences around them. They just have some type of wrought iron fence, but some of them don't even have that going on. But really basic homes in here. But this is also going to be an adult active living community, so you also are going to have like your own separate amenity center where like you're kind of in a little bubble within this section of Del Webb. People in this section only use that amenity center, but other people in this community can't really go into there. But I'm sure some people, maybe younger kids, go with their grandparents into it. I'm sure that happens here and there, but yeah, it has its own separate amenity center just for this section of the neighborhood. But I'll be doing another video on active adult living in North Texas, so this will be one of the communities I'll be doing here soon. I'll do another video on this maybe later on. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't know, I haven't quite decided, but I think that's what I was gonna do. This video right now is just geared more towards families trying to do new construction or just trying to get an idea on some of those other bigger lots in here, because these are gonna be really, really small homes. For 55 and up. And for Bloomfield homes, their plat map on their website for the 50s and 55-foot lots, the light orange are going to be the available 50s, the light blue are going to be the available 55-foot lots, dark blue are going to be the available 60-foot lots, and yellow are the inventory. Dark orange is going to be the future inventory, pink is the sold, gray is closed, and white is not available right now. They have different lot premiums. Currently, what they're showing is anywhere from $0 to $35,000. So depending on if you have a neighbor on the backside, if the lot's facing north, if it has a little bit more privacy, maybe closer to the amenity center or some of those things, gonna be on that higher side, gonna be closer to that $35,000 mark, but there is some things in here at $0. For the 60-foot lots, the blue are going to be the available, yellow is going to be inventory, orange is going to be the future inventory, pink is going to be the sold, and gray is going to be closed. For the lot premiums on those 60-foot lots, you're going to have anywhere from $0 to $25,000. And then the depths on here is going to be about 115 depth from the front to the back. Maybe you could get a little bit more in some areas, but not too much. And to go under contract with Bloomfield Homes, it's going to be $10,000 at contract, and they have no extra design center cost or things like that. So it's just $10,000 to go under contract with them. And for their incentives right now, on their inventory homes, they're doing a 3% rate buy down with their preferred lender, and their lender is also offering another 1.5% in addition. The new builds are doing $30K off the base price, $30K in upgrades, and $15,000 towards closing cost or the rate buy down, whichever one you kind of prefer. And those are happening all with the 50s, 55-foot lots and the 60-foot lots. And then we'll hook a U-turn here and head over to where the Bloomfield Homes are going into right now. This section of the neighborhood that we're driving through currently is also kind of in the middle of the neighborhood. There's this huge green space down here with multiple dog parks, multiple pavilions, park areas. The amenity center is a little bit further on the south side of the neighborhood, but we're headed north now to where the Bloomfield Homes are getting put in, so you can kind of see what those lots look like right now. If you had to ask me what are the top builders that you like within this neighborhood, I would tell you that the top builders are kind of dipping out of this neighborhood, and now kind of the cheaper, lower end builders are getting put within here. So American Legend is still building some things with their inventory homes. They're about to be closed out. Coventry and Highland Homes are already done, so those kind of higher end production builders are out of here, and now you're in essence kind of stuck with either picking Bloomfield or Tri-Point Homes. Here is the Bloomfield new construction side of the neighborhood. And this area is still really close to walking trails, that green space, so you could walk to those areas. Maybe you will drive to the amenity center, but you could probably walk down to the dog park from here. It's not too far away. And currently for their 50s and 55-foot lots, they have 2 available inventory homes. They're priced from $678,000 up to $718,000. And for their 60-foot lots, they have 3 available now and coming in July. They're priced from $549,000 up to $719,000. And these are all the lots right now that are currently for sale that you see. So there are still a lot of options within this phase 6. And none of this was here when I did my last video in this neighborhood with Union Park. And this was, I think it was probably over a year and a half ago, 2 years ago at this point. And so now this neighborhood is just going a little bit further back. So wanted to come out here and show you guys the update on that, because I think there's still plenty of opportunity right now if you are trying to do new construction. And these builders right now are kind of on the cheaper side. So if you do have a budget in that under 600K mark and you want to be on something that's 55 or potentially even a 60-foot lot, but it's going to be a 1-story, and you want to be within a community that has a lot of amenities, a lot of walking trails, and this community has like different, what do I want to say? It has like different kind of thing. It's not all just like a grid, okay? That's what I'm trying to say. It's not all just like a grid in here. There is like some character to this neighborhood. Now you are backed up to you and your neighbor pretty close. The backyards aren't the biggest, but then again, what neighborhood has big backyards at this point? It doesn't seem like really any of the neighborhoods do, unless you want to pay over $1 million for the house, and even then still find it hard to find really good backyard spaces, or you can pay a pretty high premium. And now we're gonna head over to the Tri-Point Homes. So let me go by their 40-foot lots, and then we'll head over to the other section as well, where some of the other Tri-Point Homes are going in. They're kind of over in 2 areas on this side. So for their 40-foot lots, and here for Tri-Point Homes, they're currently on their phase 6. They're on their phase 6 for all of their builds right now for their 50s and their 60-foot lots. For their floor plans on the Tri-Point Homes, they're gonna have 4 floor plans for the 40-foot lots. They're all going to be 2-story, and they're going to be ranging from $404,000 starting up to $458,000 starting. And our smallest 2-story is going to be the Anise. That's a 3-bed, 2.5 bath, 1,944 square feet, starting at $404,000. And the biggest 2-story is going to be the Sage. It's a 4-bed, 2.5 bath, 2,424 square feet, starting at $458,000. TriPoint is only building 300 homes within this community. Some of the builders are building more than that, but TriPoint is doing 300 right now, and seems like they're about halfway, maybe a little bit more. And they are going to be going into a phase 8 on the west side of the neighborhood. And for TriPoint Homes, all of their different size lots, so the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, they all have different lot premiums ranging from $4,000 up to $50,000. So it doesn't seem like right now they have any lots that are at $0, but they do have a few at that kind of cheaper range of $4,000. And this is where some of the TriPoint homes are going into. Also really close to the elementary school. Not even really a street away. Here are the model homes located on Lady Mantle. And now you're looking at TriPoint homes over on this side, and these are new construction within here. For their 50-foot lots, they have 7 floor plans ranging from $424,000 up to $522,000. Their smallest 1-story for their 50-foot lots is going to be the Ava plan. That's a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,755 square feet, starting at $424,000. The biggest 1-story plan is the Savannah. That's a 4-bed, 3-bath, 2,151 square feet, starting at $457,000. The smallest 2-story plan is the Ivy. That's a 4-bed, 2.5 bath, 2,559 square feet, starting at $495,000. The biggest 2-story plan is the Emory. It's a 4-bed, 2.5 bath, 2,912 square feet, starting at $522,000. And for their 60-foot lots, they have 9 floor plans ranging from $499,000 to $655,000. The smallest 1-story is the Braden. It's a 3-bed, 2-bath, 2,252 square feet, starting at $499,000. The biggest 1-story is the Carson. That's a 3-bed, 2.5 bath, 2,532 square feet, starting at $514,000. The smallest 2-story plan is the Davis. That's a 3-bed, 2.5 bath, 2,762 square feet, starting at $545,000. And the biggest 2-story plan is the Owen, which is a 5-bed, 3.5 bath, 3,692 square feet, starting at $655,000. So those are all the floor plans there. You can see some more of these little pavilions, walking trails within the community. There's no mailboxes also on the front side of these homes or out in the front yards. All the mailboxes are going to be located at the end of the street or on the opposite street, so you're going to have to kind of walk to that to get over to those things. This is where some more of those 40-foot lot TriPoint homes are getting built. So those are getting built right across the street from the elementary school. And then now we'll head over to where some of the other TriPoint homes are getting built on their 50s and 60-foot lots. And for the backyard sizes, they're going to be in that 120, but some of the backyards actually might be a little bit more oversized here and there depending on the lot. So you could have a backyard space of 25 feet up to 30 feet, but those are going to be a little bit more rare. You're probably more in that 15, 20 foot mark, maybe 25 feet. But then at that point, if you're getting to those oversized lots, you are going to be paying a premium. So I guess it just depends on how important that backyard space is. I will say backyard space is a big reselling point. So if you're kind of contemplating on whether or not you want to spend that premium, you get a little bit more of that backyard space, it might really be worth it at the end of the day. Now, it just kind of depends on what it backs up to and all that type of stuff. If you've got questions about oversized lots, premiums, send me a text too. I got some people that come in and ask me, hey, is this worth it if I buy a $60,000 lot premium on there? So I can kind of compare with some other things that I've seen and kind of what's standard. But yeah, every neighborhood and every builder is just going to be different with what they're doing on their lot premiums. Most of the times a south-facing lot that doesn't have a big backyard, I find it to be $0. But then I find these north-facing interior lots with just a normal backyard, nothing crazy, could be upwards of like 25K, 30K. So I guess it also depends on if you really want a north-facing lot, because those are the ones that are a little bit more expensive than everything else. All right, opposite from where the Bloomfield homes are is where the TriPoint homes are going in, and also where they're going to be taking their next phase a little bit later on. So there is still some good amount of homes built on this side, so you will be able to see kind of what the curb appeal of these homes are. And then a little bit further down, everything's flattened right now. Looks like they're getting prepared to go into that next section. This side of the neighborhood also has kind of like a small little swing set, park area, but they do this kind of everywhere. They just don't put a whole bunch of amenity centers through the community. They put a lot more parks, which is understandable. There's still a good amount of amenity centers in here. I believe they have 3, but that's counting that Del Webb amenity center as well. But a lot of parks, a lot of ponds, a lot of walking trails in here too. Tri-Point Homes also offers incentives. However, their incentives vary, so the sales agent didn't really get me incentives. It kind of just comes down to the contract you're doing. So I'm sure they're doing some type of buy down. I'm sure they'll take off some type of price with the inventory homes. They just didn't really have any type of incentive set in stone right now. And these incentives change over time. They do vary. So if you're coming back to this video and a year from now, 6 months from now, things could change as well, just depending on what's happening with the market. To go under contract with Tri-Point Homes, it's going to be $10,000 earnest and 25% down at whatever you spend at the design center. So that just all kind of depends on how much you want to pay at the design center, and maybe they'll be offering an incentive at the time that you go under contract with them, and they may take off some money at the design center, but they may not. And right now on their website, they had 2 inventory homes for their 40-foot lots. Those are going to be available August to September, and those are currently priced at $459,000 up to $521,000. Their 50-foot lots, they have 4 on their website. Some are ready now, some will be ready in August. Those are priced from $493,000 up to $550,000. And then there's 6 60-foot lots on their website, and those are priced anywhere from $539,000 up to $711,000. And some of those are ready now, and some of those will be ready in August. Tri-Point Homes told me that this whole community should be completed by 2027. This neighborhood definitely is at more of the sunset part of the community. I still think there's potential where you could build equity within the house, but it's definitely not going to be anything like it was back in 2020 and 2022 with things. This guy's just got his iPad down and not paying attention to anything. Come on, man. Gonna get ran over by a Lexus. We don't want that, right? This area that I just drove through is American Legend. So some of the inventory homes for American Legend were just down that way. And then there's another section of the neighborhood where it has some Coventry and some American Legend homes. That's literally just one little street down there, but I want to go over to this section over here where some of the older Coventry homes, American Legend homes are built. And for American Legend homes, they're gonna have different depth sizes on those. They're gonna have anywhere from 120 to 160. And they only have about 7 lots available for their 50-foot lots for their inventory, and those are ranging from $559,000 up to $720,000. And those will be available now till November of 2024. Now you're looking at some older Coventry homes, looking at some older American Legend homes, and then I believe Highland was put into some of these, but Highland mainly built on the other side of the community center over on the east side. So they have some little fields. There's this part of the neighborhood is the enclave at Union Park, so this is like a little private area that's just kind of tucked away back on this side over here, but does have some privacy with it. For the amenities within here, okay, there's gonna be a whole bunch of stuff, and I've been kind of talking about some things, but just to list them out for you, you're gonna have a 30-acre central park and open air pavilions throughout, flex space buildings and outdoor kitchens, a food truck park, large parks, separate dog parks, 2 pools, splash pads, hiking and bike trails, stocked fishing ponds, fitness and yoga studio, sports courts, and it also has an on-site lifestyle coordinator doing a whole bunch of events, things like that. I know that I had one family in here, they posted some photos on Facebook, and on Memorial Day or something like that, they all got in like their golf carts and did like a little golf cart parade throughout the neighborhood. So there is a big sense of community over on this side. They are doing a ton of events. They have those food trucks that come out. This community was also rated one of the top neighborhoods for like lifestyle events and kind of just the things that they do within the community. So if you're looking for that in your family, this community is definitely going to provide that, and it's also going to have the schools really close to here. It is going to be zoned for Denton ISD. Those schools are going to be Union Park Elementary, Navo Middle School, and Braswell High School. The commute out of here down to Dallas is going to be 50 minutes. Fort Worth is going to be an hour away. The DFW airport is going to be 42 minutes away. Frisco is about 25 minutes away. Nearest grocery store is 7 minutes away. And the nearest hospital is about 20 minutes away. For the grocery over here, I do have families that tell me that they go do their shopping all the way at the Gates of Prosper, which is a little bit further down 380. Gates of Prosper is just gonna have a little bit more things to it than some of the things that are just right along 380 over on this side. The other thing too is that Costco is coming to 380 over on this side. So that Costco will be opened up after a year and a half, 2 years from now. I think they just started breaking ground on it. I don't know how long it takes to build a Costco, but I can imagine it's probably gonna take over a year. But there is a Costco coming in. That will be really close to this neighborhood, which I think will help out a lot of people in the terms of like grocery. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about for this neighborhood was some of the actives and the data and some of the stats out of this neighborhood. So for homes currently active, there are 52 homes on the MLS. On the low end, there's a 2021 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,584 square feet, listed at $355,000 at $224 per square foot. And then on the high end, there is a 2016 5-bed, 4.5-bath, 3,683 square feet, listed at $750,000 at $203 per square foot. The average out of all those 52 homes is going to be a 2020 4-bed, 3-bath, 2,755 square feet, listed at $561,000 at $206 per square foot. For the past 90 days, the homes closed in here, there's been 41 homes closed. The average was a 2021 4-bed, 3-bath, 2,643 square feet, closed at $523,000 at around $200 per square foot. The low end is going to be closing at $320,000 up to $715,000. So that's kind of what the market's showing for the closed side of things. They also do leases in here. So if you are an investor and then you want to lease out the property, or you want to buy the property, live in it for a bit, and then lease it out, right now there's 15 homes active. That market is showing on the low end 2022 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,587 square feet, going at $2,200 per month. And then on the high end, there's a 2016 5-bed, 4.5-bath, 3,026 square feet at $3,600 per month. So that's kind of the range right now that's showing for the MLS on the actives for the leases in here. But that's also an option for you if you do want to have a lease opportunity later on in the future, or if you want to do it right now. And that's going to wrap up today's video with all that information. So if you guys have any questions about building new construction within this community for tri-point homes or Bloomfield homes, or looking at some pre-owned, please send me a text or give me a call. I have all my information down below. Would love to work with you and your family on your home search. Other than that, peace out, y'all, and take it easy as always. Thanks for checking out my channel and watching that video. I got more videos floating around here. If you're in the market to buy or sell real estate in the DFW area, contact me, Daniel, at the Home Expert Team. I will be happy to answer any of your questions. Besides that, bye.